Hello, my name's Sally-Ann Ashley. I'm an abstract artist and I love everything about the process of creating art. I paint, I draw, I stitch, I collage, and I love sharing this with others. I run a free Facebook group for artists and creatives called Practice, Process and Positivity, which looks at our creative practice as a whole. It also helps artists to maintain consistency and momentum in their practice, as we have monthly studio prompts and colour prompts to respond to. If you'd like to join us, you'll find the links below. And if you like this video, please remember to subscribe to see more. So the colour prompt in my group for February is Burnt Sienna. And the colour prompts are really just a way of exploring colours that either we wouldn't usually pick up and try to make new combinations with, or it's just a nice way to find your way around, to find some colours that you really like. I'll take the main colour I'm exploring. I'll always have a white, and this is actually a Payne's grey, not a black. And then I'll pick maybe one other or two colours just so I'm exploring on a really limited way, because then I can sort of find my pathway a bit more clearer rather than having a big open box of hundreds of colours. So today I'm mixing this with cadmium yellow, lemon hue, and they're both from Sennelier, and I love these little pouches. So I always start with just a little bit of the main colour in its truest form. You can make these in really small jumps, but for the sake of this video, so it doesn't go on for too long, I'll make the jumps a little bit bigger. So you can see, just by adding a little bit at a time, we're gradually making the colour lighter. I think, to be honest, this has probably gone as light as I'll probably, oops, I had a bit too much brown in there. If that happens, just make a new pile, not too precious here. Okay, so we can see here, this is probably the lightest I'm going to be able to go with this. So at this point, I would then think, where can I stem off to next? So we could start adding in the white. And again, if there's too much pigment, if your jumps are not looking like they're doing much, make a new little pile. Okay, so now we've come into a really lovely, soft, creamy lemon. Just get that going a bit more. Okay, so again, now we've come to a point that's probably, we're almost at white. It's probably the lightest we're going to get it. So what I might do now, bring some of that light down here and maybe just add a tiny bit of Payne's grey. And I've still got some of the Burnt Sienna on my brush there, so I just dab that in. So you can see here we've now got a beautiful warm grey. Put a tiny bit more Payne's grey in there to take it a bit darker. And then what I might do is just come back in now with this Burnt Sienna, and let's go down another path. It's obviously helpful to write down. I normally have little arrows for myself. Just write down what you're adding in, so you're making yourself a little like roadmap to get back. Okay, so again, I think we're at the end here, so I'm going to come back. Oops, I put a bit too much on my brush there, so take some of that off, else we'll go straight to a grey that's just going to knock all the colour out. Okay, so we can add in a bit of the Payne's grey here and go down a slightly darker route. When I'm colour mixing, I like to have enough of a range that takes me from a dark value to the really light value. So that's the reason I'd always have a black and white on my palette as well, because if I ended up using this palette for a painting, I would want colours right at each end of the value scale. And you'll notice that I'm mixing just everything with the same brush, because I'm doing it in quite a methodical way.
it will mean that everything's harmonized as well, because everything's got a little bit of the colors in. Okay, so I've got this left, and I've got a bit of space before I do my next sort of thing that I like to end on. So I'm probably just going to come back to this yellow and see if there's anything we can do now with this. Because what I'd like to do is just explore this colour a little bit, so I know that I'm going to have the majority being yellow. I'll do it here so you can see it. And then I'm going to take some of that I've just been mixing, this colour, and just see where I can go with that. Okay, so what I like to do now is pick out a couple of, like, to see if they would work together well in a painting. I sort of just like to do a little study. I'm actually doing this in my playbook, so I don't have a huge amount of space, but if you were doing this on large sheets, or I could wait till this is dry and carry on. But it's just a way, if I thought to myself, oh, I really love this deep colour here, which I do, so I'm going to take some of that. If I come back, that was around here. So I can start putting this in, and then actually I really like it around these sorts of colours. So let's try and get back to there. And I've got a pathway. I know what happened here, so I can get back to here. And then to finish my study, what I often do is, because I work in mixed media, so I'm usually working with some crayons and pencils as well, I like to find some pencils that maybe I could use with this palette. So here I'm thinking something like this. This is a really nice, what's this? These are Stabilo. These are like pastel pencils. I really like these. They go really well over acrylics. And already I'm building up a thought of, oh, that'd be lovely in a painting, or I can start to sort of visualize how that might work. Okay, so there's my study for Burnt Sienna for this one, and that was just picking out one other colour and black and white so that they harmonise together. But you could see there that we could have created many more colours in between there to give ourselves a whole really lovely kind of earthy palette.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do want to come over and join the group, please do. It's called Practice, Process and Positivity on Facebook. The link's below. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of my process videos. Thank you.